I don't understand why people think history is boring. Like, it's the only class where you're literally just learning stories. Hello and welcome back to Ivy Lilia. Because there's so much content for history, it's all about studying smarter and not harder. If you go down in my description, you'll see a very long URL. That'll take you to my blog, where I have posted my very own guide to the History IA and guide to incorporating perspectives into your history essays. I'm pretty proud of how those turned out, and I definitely think it would have helped me if I had had those resources doing the IA and learning how to incorporate perspective into my paper 2 and paper 3 essays. My first tip is memorize as much as you can, but remember that what they're really looking for is historical analysis. If you can't use those descriptive facts towards an argument and analyze and evaluate that history, you're not going to score well. So the importance of critical thought, analysis, and analyzing the historical context is more important than those facts. For me, having a really big database in my memory to pull from on the essay helped me feel really confident in my analysis because I had so many facts and years and laws to back it up. So memorize as much as you can, but do it smartly. Don't memorize 5 distinct evidence points if you can memorize 3 and use some in overlapping cases. It's really easy to think, I need to memorize everything. You don't. Memorize what sticks with you, what you think is interesting, and what you can easily analyze. Going along with your ability to overlap evidence is my second tip. Read the syllabus. The syllabus helps with everything. It tells you exactly what content they can ask about and what they will never ask about. Reading the syllabus is so important for paper 1 because you'll have 2 possible case studies. Because I had studied history of the Americas, one of our units was civil rights, and we chose the rights and protest topic for paper 1. So we had already learned about civil rights, right? All we had to learn about was apartheid. So I was so prepared for apartheid. I knew every year, every legislation. I could talk about my own knowledge and criticize any document. And the paper 1 wasn't about apartheid. It would have been so useful to have read the syllabus and know exactly what they could have asked, and I'm sure my paper 1 didn't score as well as my practices where I was really prepared to talk about the topics. Along with some advice about paper 1, the paper 1 compared to other IB exams is so short. It's only an hour, so you really have to know how you time yourself and how you can get that paper 1 done in an hour. 2 more tips about the paper 1, just while we're on the topic. Keep in mind what the question is asking. When it's like, in reference to origin and purpose, discuss value and limitation, it's easy to just go ham and talk about anything that's a value or limit of that document. But that's not what they're asking. They're asking you to discuss it in terms of something else. It's value to historians studying blank. So you need to remember that when you're answering the question because you otherwise don't have a very focused response and it's not what they're looking for. And for the final question where it's in reference to your own knowledge and the sources, a great way to discuss your own knowledge is to use legislation that was passed in the years before and following whatever era the documents are from. Tip number 3, perfect your IA. The IA is great practice for your externally assessed essays because you kind of get to see how to structure a really sound historical analysis and you have a lot of time to do it. In the essay, you really just have to go, but in the IA, you have time to plan and structure and restructure, so it's really great practice for your externally assessed exams. But remember that it is not a description of a historical period. It is an analysis. Everything about history, you are not describing history, you are analyzing history, and that is so important to remember. Number 4, take notes, and do it throughout the semester, making little study guides. There is so much content, so if you don't organize your notes at the end of every unit or at the end of every semester, you are wrecked by the time you have to get into exams. I created an entire document where I had answered every aspect of the syllabus, but I waited to do that until the week before exams, and it took me easily 10 hours to complete, and 10 hours that I could have been studying. So make these study guides beforehand, but it is the best way to prepare, to have every part of every syllabus mapped out what you would say, because they're never gonna ask you anything that's off the syllabus, so just go ham on the syllabus. Number 5, know the command terms maybe. A part of the rubric is that you answer the demands of the question. So a lot of teachers stress the importance of knowing the command terms. I really didn't think it was worth my memory space. I thought I was better off just knowing how to write a strong essay. If you are discussing the topic in analytical and evaluative terms, and you're bringing in perspective and you're addressing a counter argument, it doesn't matter what that command term said. I think focusing on providing a really strong essay will ensure you'll score well, more so than just memorizing all of the possible command terms. Number 5, perspective. This is so important. Perspective is the easiest way to ensure that you're not capped at a low mark band. If you are evaluating how different people or different groups may have seen a historical event, that is perfect analysis. In the highest level of the mark band, it says there is evaluation of different perspectives, and this evaluation is integrated effectively into the answer. If you're not sure how to evaluate perspectives, or you just want a little more guidance, go ahead and see that guide I made. Make sure you're introducing it clearly. If you say another perspective, perfect. It seems heavy-handed, but that's gonna make it easier for the grader to see that you actually incorporated perspective. On the rubric, evaluation is integrated effectively throughout the answer. Don't leave all of your analysis to the end. Make sure you are analyzing throughout the entire essay. After every point, I would tie it back to the prompt and why this evidence and analysis helped me answer my question and provided evidence for my claim. If you have questions about structuring your historical analysis, like your essays for paper 2 and paper 3 are going to be really similar to the structure of your IA. So go ahead and take a look at my IA guide in the section Structuring Your IA. That structure is going to be the same structure you'll use in your essays. If you have any other questions, make sure to let me know. I love hearing from you guys, and I love making content that you guys want to see. Even if these videos only help one person, I'm happy. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you later.